Dear students, in this lecture we are going to discuss about the standard sequential modules. First of all, we'll discuss the various types of registers and then we'll discuss the counters. Okay, so first we will discuss what is the register, then we will discuss what is the use of register. You can consider a register as a memory cell, as we are saying that register is your standard sequential module. It is a standard sequential module, right? So as we have discussed lots of standard modules of the combinational network, such as the multiplexer, demultiplexer, coder, decoder, arithmetic logic units, right? Such as in case of sequential systems, there are some standard modules like register. So it's a kind of sequential system or sequential module where internally there would be flip-flops, but they are designed in such a manner that the frequent operations can be fulfilled using these registers, right? So if you have encountered that why we have constructed a multiplexer and demultiplexer as an standard module, because there are lots of real life applications where we require multiplexer and demultiplexer applications, such same as for the coder and decoder. So what we do, if we require a particular operation frequently in lots of applications, lots of real life applications, we fabricate those modules so that there is no need to build those modules. Suppose if you want to use multiplexer, we directly can use multiplexer. There is no need to first build the multiplexer from the universal gates and then we will use that into the main program. So here in the same manner, there are lots of standard sequential modules. One of them is the register. Okay. So we will discuss what is the functionality of the register and we will discuss how we can implement the register using the flip-flop. So you will get an clear idea that what is actually a register is. In case of a register, there would be an input. We are representing with X and the size of the input would be n bit, right? I have already discussed that this cut is represents n bits, right? So that means in this line there are n bits actually. So there is an input, we have represented with the X. There would be output, we are representing it with the Z. There would be few control lines. We will discuss what that mean, what is the operation of those control lines one by one. One is load, we represent it with LD, right? LD. We will discuss the meaning and the functionality of these controls in a while. Second is clock. So that is a general input, means if it is in a sequential module, that means it will require some clock so that it would be synchronized according to this clock, right? We have discussed every flip-flop is requires some clock, right? So it might be either it might be a latch or flip-flop, still it will require a clock. Another control signal is clear. We represent it with the CLR. Meaning of CLR is, you can understand, clear. So these are the control signals. These are the control or you can say control inputs to the register. Okay, we can represent this register at the high level specification like this. I can write down that inputs X would belongs to xn minus 1, xn minus 2, x1, x0, right? That means there would be n bits, and every bit, if I, let's say if I want to represent a bit as an xi, that would belongs to 0 and 1, right? That means every one is a bit. So this is your MSB and this is your x0 is your LSB. Then you can write down the output. Output is your Z. Again it would be n of n bit, so we can write down in this manner Zn minus 1 to Z0. There is although it does not require that we have to mention this xi and zi, because if it is given to you that this Z0 or Zn to Zn minus 1 is a bit, in that case they can only take a value of 0 or 1. Then the control, there are two control signals. One is LD, that belongs to, the value of LD might be either 0 or 1. There is another control signal or control input, you can say control input CLR, that will also belongs to 0 or 1. That means the value of clear or load would be either 0 or 1. Okay, now we'll discuss what is the function of a register. So we will write down the functionality of this register here now. Function. Okay, so now I am going to figure out the function of this register in terms of the states. If you are familiar with this, we were representing the output of a particular flip-flop as a state. So as I have discussed, the register is internally going to use the flip-flops. So whatever the output is, I am representing with the state, right? So st plus 1, that means the output will be xt. That means it would z would be equals to x if ld equals to 1 and clear equals to 0. I think you may have got the meaning of this control signal. One is the load and second one is the clear. So clear is an asynchronous. Let me put here. Okay, I will make it a special comment. Clear means it will clear your register. That means whatever the input is, it will clear. So Z would be 0. Whatever the input you will provide, and if the clear becomes 1 instead of 0, Z would become 0. That means the output will be cleared. And load, as name suggests, the input will be loaded. So input will be loaded, that means the input will be available at the output. Fine. So this first condition is saying that if LD is equals to 1 and clear equals to 0, that means we do not want to clear the Z, but we want to load the input X. So the Z should be X. So now as we have discussed, we are representing the next state as an st plus 1. So st plus 1 would be equals to xt if clear equals to 0 and LD equals to 1. Next condition, if LD equals to 0 and clear equals to 0, what should be here? We do not want to clear because clear equals to 0. LD equals to 0, what that mean? We do not want to load the value X. Fine. So that means what will be the next state? What will be the st plus 1? Whatever the previous value. That means whatever the Z will remain same. A new value or the value X will not be loaded, right? So whatever the st is, it will remain st plus 1. Fine. So that means Z will not change. If you write down, output will not change. You can say output will not change. Next condition, if clear equals to 0. Clear equals to 1. In this case, the output would be st plus 1 would be 0. I am representing 0 dash 0 because the size of this vector would be of n, right? That means the complete zn minus 1 to z0 would be 0. There, it does not matter what is the value of load if clear equals to 1, right? If clear equals to 1, it does not matter what is the value of load, the output would be 0. Now please take care of it. Clear control signal is asynchronous. I think you should be able to understand the meaning of asynchronous. We say a particular control signal or input output is asynchronous if it only change corresponding to the triggering event, right? That means it depends on the clock cycle. Asynchronous, it does not depend. Whenever the clear signal will go 1, it does not matter when the triggering event will occur. Your Z will become 0 at the same instant, right? So the functionality of clear control signal does not depend on the triggering event of the clock. That's why a clear control input is a asynchronous control input or control signal. Okay, now we are going to discuss how we will implement a register. Okay, before that, let me briefly recap what is actually register. There is some input here, there is some output here of n bit. We are assuming each of n bit. There are two control signals, load and clear. We have understood what is the meaning of that. Load means we want to load the new the input at the output. So z would become equals to x, and if clear equals to 1, z would become 0. That's it. So we have defined the functionality of the register here. Now we will discuss how we can implement this register using the flip-flop. So as we have discussed at the time of the designing of sequential system, if it is not given to you which flip-flop you have to use, the probably best option is that use the D flip-flop, because that is simple to use. Okay, so we are going to discuss how we will implement a register using the D flip-flop. So okay, we will discuss implementation of register using D flip-flop. Okay, first of all, you should analyze what is the functionality of the register, when it is changing, and how we have to change the input. So if you will analyze the input to the flip-flop, we know that the delay flip-flop does not produce any change to the input. Whatever the input will be the output in the next clock cycle, right? So whatever the input is will be available at the output side after the triggering event. Right? So we have discussed that whatever the input is will be available at the output side. So we should provide input according to the load. If load is equals to 1, we should provide xt to the delay flip-flop, and if ld equals to 0, we should provide st to the delay flip-flop. I think now it should come to your mind that which combinational module we should use if we have to select one input from n inputs. If we have to select one input from multiple inputs at the output side, right? So we have to select one input. Probably now you have figured out that we are going to use the mux multiplexer, right? So the task of the multiplexer is that it selects one of the input according to the selective lines or selection lines at the output side. So in case of mux, we have to select either xt or st corresponding to ld. So we will make ld as our selection line. We will make ld as a selection line to the mux, and we will provide it the inputs xt and st. So we will provide the input xt and st to mux. Let me assume that this is the 0th input and this is the first input. So at the first input, let me provide x, and at 0 we will understand how we'll connect the st, right? That's what we want. That's what we want. If ld is equals to 1, the input at the first location will be provided at the z or at the output side, right? So this will be your output, and if ld is equals to 0, the output would be st, and that's what we want. Now we can use a delay flip-flop here, and this output we can provide directly to the input of the delay flip-flop, right? And the output of the delay flip-flop, we represent it with the Q most of the times. We can connect in this manner. Is it okay till now? What we have done, we have just implemented the functionality of the load, right? If ld is equals to 1, the xt will be selected and that will be provided to d, and you can say this is your output of the register, right? This is your output of the register. Fine. Now you can analyze that. If you will draw a boundary here, this would be a boundary here. Fine. Although till now we have not implemented the clear control signal, we will see how we will implement that. So this block diagram, you can say this is a register where this is your input xt and this is your output. Fine. So in this one, in this block diagram, what we are actually doing, we are using a mux and a delay flip-flop to obtain the desired output. So this is your actually a delay flip-flop. Let me write down here, so there should not be any confusion. Now what is the functionality of the clear? If clear equals to 1, if clear equals to 1, in that case the Z should be 0, right? So what we can do, there is an enable pin to every flip-flop, right? There is an enable pin to every flip-flop, as we have discussed. What is the objective of an enable flip-flop? If it is enabled, in that case it will perform the operation, the desired operation. If it is not enabled, it will not produce the desired operation, the output will be 0, right? That means we are going to apply the clear control signal to this input pin of the flip-flop. So whenever the clear will be 1, okay, although we should implement a complement of this one, right? So if it is 1, this flip-flop will not be enabled. So in that case the Z would become 0, and this 0 will be the next state, right? So this Z will be 0. If clear equals to 0, that means we do not want to clear it. In that case it will be enabled. So whatever the input is will be available at the output, and yes, there must be a clock, right? So the clock will be applied to the delay flip-flop here. Fine. So I think now you can analyze, we can implement a register like this using the mux and a delay flip-flop. Okay. I think it would be very easy to analyze the timing diagram of this. Let me draw it here only. So timing diagram, if we want to analyze the timing diagram of the register or this implementation, how it would look like. So there must be a clock signal. Suppose the clock signal is this one. Assuming our delay flip-flop is positive as triggered, right? That means the input will change, sorry, the output will change only at these points. Okay. This is your clock. Assuming that there is a load signal which goes high here and it remains high here. Okay, so this is your load signal. The input signal is like this one. Input signal is high, like this one. This is your X. So initially it is 1, and then after at some time it goes low. How the Z would be there? How Z would look like? So first of all, as we have discussed, this is the LD. This LD is the input to the this. If we will consider it, this block diagram as an sequential network, because this is in a sequential network. There is a combinational module. There is a flip-flop. So it's a sequential network. We have discussed that the setup time of the sequential network is the summation of the delay of the combinational network plus the setup time of the flip-flop. So what will be the setup time for the input of this network? LD, the delay of this mux plus flip-flop. So we are assuming that whatever the setup time is, it should be 1 before that setup time. Okay, there is no need to discuss in detail about the setup time. We have already discussed about it, what it mean by setup time. Okay, so after setup time, LD is 1. So positive edge trigger is here. At this moment the X is equals to 1. As we have mentioned, okay, we are assuming that clear is not 1, right? Clear is 0. So okay, let me draw the clear signal also. So the clear signal is 0. We are assuming that it is 0 throughout the time, right? It is low. So in that case, clear is 0, load is 1. So the whatever the input X would be at the output side, right? So if I want to draw Z, suppose initially it is 0. After at this particular moment, this should go high? No, it should go high after the setup time, of the network. So it will go high after the setup time of the network, right? And it will remain high then. Fine. Okay. Can you analyze at this moment, in the next positive S trigger, the input is low, but the output after setup time does not go low, right? That means after this propagation delay, not setup time, sorry. After this propagation delay, the output should go low here because the input is low. But why it is not being changed? Because at this moment the LD is low, right? At this moment LD is low. So the output will not change, or you can say the input will not be loaded, so whatever the Z will remain Z, so that's why it remains high. Fine. So this would be the timing diagram would look like for a register. I think by this you can understand what is the functionality of a register. Okay, now we will discuss use of a register. Okay, we'll take this example to understand how we can use a register. Okay, I think you can analyze simply that a register is nothing but a flip-flop and an mux, right? A mux and a flip-flop. That means you can use a register as a memory component to implement a sequential system, right? You can implement any sequential system using the register. Okay, we will consider this simple example to understand how we can do that. So suppose input x for a particular function is belongs to 0 and 1, output z1 z0 that again belongs to 0 and 1. That means the output is of a 2-bit. State, there are two states s0 s1 and both belongs to 0 1. That means there are 4 states exactly, right? Initial state, for s1 and s0, that is 0 0. So this would be your initial state. Okay, let me define the transition function. Or state transition function, right? When we are saying the transition function in terms of sequential system, we are saying state transition function. So okay, the state transition function is given with this particular table here. This is your present state, so we can write down y1 y0. The input, there are two possible input, 0 and 1, x equals to 0, x equals to 1. In that case, the next state y1 capital Y1 capital Y0 capital Y1 capital Y0. So there are 4 possible states, 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 and 1 0. Okay, the functionality is given in this manner: 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 0. That means if the input x equals to 0, whatever the present state will remain the next state. That means there is no change in the state if the input is 0. And if the input is 1, the next state is 0 1 1 1 1 0 0 0. Fine. I think you can analyze what is the functionality of this one. Okay, so okay, we are not going too much deep that what is the functionality of this one. Suppose for some particular functionality, this is the state transition function, and now we want to implement this sequential system through our registers. Fine. So first of all, we can identify what will be the value of y1 and y0. We will identify the y1 and y0 because okay, you can say in this manner as well. You can say actually these are your d1 and d0. Why we are saying that whatever the y1 y0 will remain d1 d0? Because the excitation function for the delay flip-flop does not change, right? So if we want 0, the input should be 0. If we want 1, the input should be 1. So whatever the y, the next state would be your input to the delay flip-flop. So that's why we are identifying the equations in form of y1 and y0. Okay, the equation of y1, you can now easily solve it. You can use either using chmap or means in this simple example you can directly write down in this manner y1 x bar and y0 x bar, y1 bar x. Okay, now we will implement it with the register. So if you have to suppose the task is we want to use delay flip-flop, how the circuit would look like. There would be two delay flip-flops. Let me draw them. There would be two delay flip-flops, right? So suppose this is your D1 and this is your D0. As I have mentioned, this is your D1 and this is D0. So you will implement the combinational module for this equation here. There would be two AND gates. Input would be y1 x bar and y0 x, and the OR of these two would be the input to the D1, right? And same as you can identify the input. Sorry, I'm going a bit fast here, so the drawing is not that much good, but that does not matter right now. We want to understand the concept. So if we have to draw the sequential system here using the delay flip-flop, we have done already lots of practice to do that, so I'm not going to much detail how I'm drawing these circuits. Okay, so we have implemented the input of D1 and D0, the combinational network for them, and there would be a clock signal here to both of them. We can make a common clock signal input to both the flip-flops, and this would be your output. Fine. We can say y1 and y0. Okay, this is using the delay flip-flop. This is using delay flip-flop, but our task is to understand how we can do it with the register. Fine. So if you will analyze this thing, in this case specifically, this is a very simple example to implement through the register, because in this case the next state is not being changed if x equals to 0, and the next state is only being changed if x equals to 1, right? As we have discussed in case of register, the output only changed when LD equals to 1. So whatever the input is will be available at the output if LD is equals to 1, otherwise it will not change. So now you can analyze your X is actually you can use as an LD, right? So whatever the register here is, let me draw it here. Okay, first of all, I am drawing one block here, although there would be actually two registers, but the control signals would be common, so I am drawing as an one block. So as I have mentioned, we can apply X to the load control input of this register. That means there would be two registers, right? There would be two registers like R1 and R0, and we are applying X to the LD control input of both the registers. Fine. There would be clock signal again, that would be common, and there would be clear input. We can apply 0 because we do at any moment we do not want to clear the Z, right? We want to implement this desired function. Now for x equals to 0, we will get the output, the desired output. Suppose this is your y1 and this is your y0, right? So whatever the input is, whatever the previous state will remain same. So, fine. So for the register, you can say this is your Z1 and this is your Z0. Fine. And the input, suppose this is your x1 and this is your x0. What should we apply at the input of these registers x1 and x0? So in case of x equals to 0, LD would be 0 and there would not be any change at the state. Whatever the previous state will remain the next state, and that's what we want. If x equals to 1, that means LD equals to 1, we want this functionality.